right, 22 long rifle ammo test, and what I have today is the Norma TAC-22 40 grain lead round nose ammo. I've been looking at this ammo for a while. It's really expensive, you know, 12 bucks for 50 rounds. And I've been wondering, why is it so expensive, for one? And number two, through my testing of 22 long rifle, I have found that hollow point ammunition really doesn't work very well in pistols in our ballistic testing, because either we get expansion and we limit our penetration, or it doesn't expand at all anyway. So my thought was, what we want is the heaviest bullet as possible. 40 grain is pretty good, so that we have a lot of momentum when we do a ballistic test through our ballistics gel, but also, you know, a round nose is going to feed a little bit better typically through a semi-automatic pistol. So I brought out 3 barrel lengths here. I believe this is a 24 inch. This is my old Savage rifle. We've got our 4 3/4 inch Revolver Heritage Rough Rider and our 2.4 inch Beretta, a little Beretta Bobcat 21A pistol here. So we're going to do a ballistic test on this. So we're going to go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get at the same time. Then we're going to do our standard ballistic test. I don't have any denim on this because we don't need it really on the front of our block here, because we're not trying to impede a hollow point from expanding. But we got our 3 inches of ballistics gel, 10% clear ballistics, to represent like our pectoral muscle before it hits our 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard, which will kind of represent our ribs or sternum, and into more clear ballistics. So typically this takes away about 2 inches of this, you know, typically, not always, because this usually affects how the bullet expands. So it doesn't always play out exactly like that. So we're going to do our shots with 3 different barrel lengths with this MDF, and we'll take that out and we'll do it without the MDF to represent our gut shot as if we're not hitting ribs or sternum. And then we'll do our accuracy test at our full size steel silhouette. So let's get started with this test. All right, first up, let's see what we get through our rifle. This says 1100 feet per second on the box is our rating. So we'll see how close we get to 1100 feet per second out of our rifle here. 1005, that's pretty low for a rifle, and it's below rated velocity. $1,018. Feels good though, and it seems to be accurate. $1,015. So far, so good for our consistency. $1,032. $1,021. So very consistent and accurate, at least. Let's see what we get out of our 4 3/4 inch Revolver. All right, next up we have our Revolver. Let's see what this will do. $803. $735. $757. It's probably just this gun giving me a misfire. $733. $788. See if we can get that next one to go off. $764. So it's grouping a little bit to the left for me. Let's see how our little Beretta Bobcat will shoot this ammo. All right, Beretta Bobcat, this is the one I'm kind of wondering about, and really what I want it to work good for. So let's see how it feeds in this and what kind of velocity and accuracy we get. 727. 734. 726. 744. 720. 694. 741. So other than that one round where it really dropped, our consistency of our velocity was decent for a 22 of this little pistol, and we did not have any malfunctions, and it doesn't seem to be so dirty that it's causing it to jam up when I open it either. So let's hit our ballistics gel block and see how all these different barrel lengths compare. All right, first up we have our rifle. Let's see what we get through our 3 inches of clear ballistics into our medium density fiber board and into more clear ballistics. So that's not too bad actually. We're looking at about, it's kind of hard to see through this block. I'm getting some new blocks soon, but we're at about 10 3/4, which would typically be about 12 3/4. So let's pull out this MDF here and we'll make a shot right above that and we'll see how that compares. All right, no MDF. Let's see how this does. So that's interesting. That did not compare the same. And part of that is we see a lot of deformation, at least from what I can tell on the MDF bullet, as we're without the MDF, it looks like rather than hitting and deforming and continuing to go straight, it looks like it probably tumbled right here. So our penetration is near identical. It's about 10 3/4. So that's interesting, but actually pretty decent. It's a little bit under penetrating overall, but let's try our pistols and see how that does. And I wanted to show this before I move on. The one where it hit the MDF, you can definitely tell that within that first few inches, it's starting to tumble. So that explains why that looks like it's tumbling without the MDF, because it is tumbling within that first 3 inches. And once it hit this, you know, we're going through kind of sideways, you know, deformed a little bit. It's not going to penetrate all that well. As with the other one, it's really going to tumble. So let's try our handguns now. All right, next up we have our handgun. We're our Heritage Rough Rider with our 4 3/4 inch barrel. Let's see what this will do through our MDF. All right, interesting. That did the same thing, but a little bit less penetration. We're at about 10 1/4 inches. So let's pull out the MDF. We'll see how it does without that. All right, just plain clear ballistics. We'll see how this does. All right, interesting here. That went a little bit high, and we're looking at 9 1/2. So it's definitely weird how this performs a lot differently than most of the guns I test, with the opposite being true for penetration. Their MDF apparently having more penetration. So let's pull out that Beretta Bobcat and see how that does. All right, Beretta Bobcat through our MDF. We'll see what this will do. All right, so we definitely have a lot less penetration with that. We're at about 8 3/4. So let's pull out the MDF. We'll see how it does without it. All right, no MDF. Let's see what it does through plain clear ballistics. All right, so a little bit better. This is more typical of what I see. We're at about 11 1/4. So this played out exactly in what we normally see, but it makes sense because it looks like this has the least amount of deformation through our MDF. So what we're seeing here, you know, 11 1/4, that's a little bit shallow. It's a little bit shallow for our penetration. So, you know, it's kind of hard to say how good this did, but what I can say is our velocity, our accuracy on paper, and what we're seeing in here is relatively consistent, and that's a good thing. And I haven't had any malfunctions yet. So I'm going to go back to a distance and shoot at my steel silhouette and just see what kind of accuracy I can get. All right, rather than do bullet measurements like I normally do, I wanted to pull these all out from the block and to kind of compare them to one another. And what we see with the rifle and the revolver is going through the MDF. we had tumbling, definitely. So here we are with our tumbling bullets with our rifle and a revolver. You know, really damaged up. But we can definitely tell they're impacting at MDF sideways from the holes and from the bullet shapes. And just through our plain gel, we had basically no deformation. Now with our pistol though, our little Bobcat pistol, we went straight through. We did not tumble in that first section there. And we had just straight on expansion. That's probably about 26, 27 caliber. So we had a little bit of expansion, but it went straight, it went correct. So judging from this, I'm going to say overall, our best performance is going to be in this pistol as far as what those bullets are doing. All right, considering I have a rifle, I decided to start at 75 yards. And I'm going to see how well these old 75-year-old iron sights will do. So let's see how this rifle does for me. Can't tell where it hits, but it definitely hit. Just aiming center mass. All right, let me try the revolver now. All right, we got our single action Heritage Rough Rider. Not really sure how well this was gonna do at 75 yards, but we'll see. Kind of experimenting, trying to see where these are hitting, and I'm just not seeing it. I think they may be hitting high. Let me load some more and try some more. All right, let me keep trying here. See if I can see where these are hitting. All right, I'm trying all kinds of different stuff, and I'm just not really sure what's going on. One more attempt, and then I'm going to move on to that little Bobcat. All right, try again. I'm going to try to focus, see if I can see dirt hitting at least, or moving. Oh yeah, way high. Wow, wow. Okay, something weird's going on because I kept the same point of aim. I just kind of was experimenting. I held about 6 feet low, and one hit exactly 6 feet low, and then the next shot I kept the same point of aim, and it hit like 6 feet high, a 12-foot difference. So something's wrong here. Let's try that Beretta Bobcat. All right, our little 2.4-inch Beretta Bobcat. Let's aim center mass. Little low. I pulled that last one there. Let me try some more. This is really difficult to see where these are hitting. Try some more here. Little malfunction. I can't really tell where they're heading, but the ones I'm actually making contact with the steel is I'm aiming right here on that silhouette. So I'm gonna try a few more. All right, I'll keep doing that. All right, I'm gonna move back to 100 yards since I have that rifle and just see what that rifle will do. All right, 100 yards up there, if you can see that steel. And try the rifle, see how this does for me. Takes a minute. All right, just for fun though, I'll set my rifle down here. Why not try the Beretta? Why not? Just to see what we might get. I didn't even attempt to aim where I was aiming. I aimed about 3 foot high. That's fun, so I'm gonna do some more. All right, I'll try some more. Yeah, I just keep experimenting with holds because I'm not really sure where this is gonna hit. And the reason why I just keep shooting these is because I really want to see if these remain reliable in this pistol. Now, we had one malfunction, but it was a very easy one to clear. It wasn't really jammed up on anything. It was just kind of slightly back, like just a little bit of dirt or something. So that's mainly why I keep shooting these, even though I'm missing. So let me try some more here anyways. Yeah, I keep moving my sights up and down, up and down, up and down, because I'm not really exactly sure if my point of hold is correct or not. I only have 3 rounds left of those 100, so 3 chances, and then we'll be done. No. I was hoping to get one on the last shot. So what we're seeing overall, the main takeaway from this ammunition is consistency. It is very consistent. Now, we can't really look at what that Revolver did necessarily and call it anything, because I think that that Revolver is just garbage. It shoots okay with 22 Magnum, but with 22 long rifle, not so much. Now, in this pistol, relatively accurate. We saw that at 5 yards. It's very accurate for this. And other than one little hang up, we didn't have any issues at all. This ammo is very greasy feeling, but as far as the gun looks, it looks immaculate. It looks very, very clean. I don't really know if you can see in there, but there's not a lot of crud buildup on there. And that tip up though, a little bit of issue here with that tip up. which will indicate a little bit of dirtiness. Maybe not. Not too bad, really, honestly. And what we saw in the rifle is, you know, I didn't miss anything with that rifle as far as I can tell. So in a rifle is very accurate, very consistent. So, you know, I wouldn't hesitate using that in a rifle if I needed that for defense. And I wouldn't hesitate using it in this. It seemed to perform pretty well. So that's what you get today. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.